Hello, my name is Jazmin Leyva. I'm one of the student ambassadors for the School of Art, and
Hi guys, I'm Tabo Tang and I'm one of the student ambassador too, and I'm in animation major. Welcome to CSULB.
welcome. And so what we're going to be doing is just showing you guys how to sign up for classes online. So we're going to start off just by your basic single sign-on page. So what you do is just sign in. And once you sign in, you're going to go to your student center because that's where you actually enroll for your classes. So once this pops up, it's going to be this chiclet right here where it says MyCSULB. Just click on that. And then once you're on your page, you're going to see a tab, and it's like the enrollment card, I think. Let's see right now when it loads. Yeah, enrollment shopping cart. Okay, so you're going to click on this one. First, you have to click the term that you're signing up for. So let's choose fall 2020. And then after that, it's going to give you your shopping cart. So here in the shopping cart, it's like where all like the classes that you want to enroll to are going to show right here. And then here's like a class number. So all the classes have like a specific class number. So we're going to just start off with some basic examples of classes. And we're going to start off with like GE requirements. So one of the GE requirements that's like basic for all students is critical thinking, no matter like if you're a freshman, transfer. So let's choose, let's see. So as you can see, you have like a large variety of like classes to take. You don't just have to take one specific class. And we're just going to be choosing Essentials of Argumentation. So for this class, you actually have to choose a day for the lecture and a day for the activity. So we're just going to be choosing the first two. So as you see here, this is the class number that I was talking about earlier. We're just going to copy that. And just let that load.
And so basically the difference between the lecture and the activity section, basically they're just like different section, but actually it's for the same class. So for the lecture is in a bigger room, for the activity section is in kind of like a lab class, right, Jasmine?
Yeah, so both classes have to be taken together to count for 3 units. Yeah.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Right, and we're just gonna paste the number here. And put enter, and then you're just gonna click the class. So let's see, it was 2715. So this was the section. So just make sure to like double check here. So you see 2715, 2715.
Exactly.
Next. And as you can see here, it already kind of like combines the activity.
Cool.
We're just gonna click next. So as you can see, it's still like the same twice a week class, just that once in the week, it's kind of like how Tabo mentioned, it's the lecture. So as you can see here, just in case, like if you get confused, it's still twice a week. You just put next and just have that in your cart. So as you can see, you need to take both for it in order to count for 3 units, as we mentioned. And now we're just gonna add another class to our cart. Another GE requirement that's required for a lot of students would be your science with a lab. So let's see. It's this one right here, area B, physical science with a laboratory. Click on that. As the same thing, you have a lot of options. Astronomy, intro to astronomy, chemistry. We're just going to be picking chemistry. So the number for chemistry is 1233. I'm going to copy and paste. Go to your enrollment cart, paste it.
And then choose the lab section.
So here there's a couple of sections. So the lab would have to be,
yeah, 4459.
I'm going to pick this one just so it doesn't interfere with other classes. It gives you more options just earlier, 6151. Cool. Yeah, so this is the lab. So we're going to pick next. So here it shows how we picked the lecture and the lab. And you need to take both of these for order to count for your physical science with a lab. So make sure that you pick the correct lecture time and the correct lab time. You need to take them together. So as you see, that got imported into the cart. Now we're going to be signing up for just one of
Studio
those
classes.
your studio classes. Yeah. So for studio classes, so as you can see, I found all of these GE requirements in the GE page here. So when you click here, it gives like all the GEs. But in order to find your studio classes, you have to search by subjects. And you actually click art. And then this is where you search like your art one. The art foundation is usually art 184, depending on what the advisors recommend for you. So let's just look for art 184, one of the basic foundation classes, which is right here.
Exactly.
And I don't know if you want to explain what like these mean, Tabo.
Sure. It means there is some seat reserved for specific like group of students. In this specific case, is reserved for transfer students. Some of the other classes, they may reserve it for like honor students. So you have to take into account, you can still try to enroll in that class, but usually you have to wait until maybe the beginning of the semester and try to crash into that class.
Thank you. Yeah. So just like he said, it says right here, reserved. So, but we're just gonna, this is some of the classes you have to take either way. So we're just gonna try to see if it lets us enroll. So we're just gonna sign up for this one.
Yeah, so for studio classes, usually advisor will recommend like freshman or sophomore student to take 2 studio classes per semester. It's easier for you guys to handle. But if you want to take more than 2 studio classes, I highly recommend you to meet with advisor to kind of discuss about, the workload.
Yeah, and not only discuss it with an advisor, but also professors, because advisors do have a lot of experience, but professors, they know the workload and the amount, and they can give you a better idea of like if it's a good idea to take these 3 studios together, if it's not a good idea. So here we go. So we're gonna paste that studio class here. So it said reserve seating, but it says that it's still open, which is good. I'm just gonna put next, it gets imported into the cart. So now we're going to give an example of a class that might have trouble like you enrolling for. We're just going to explain why. So one of the classes that I'm going to look for is Art 291. So I know they're coming into like the university, like you might be interested in like taking animation because you're excited about taking animation classes, which is exciting, but
Yeah.
you can't like enroll into it right away because unfortunately there are like prerequisites that come before taking those classes. So we're just gonna use the first one as an example. So 5388. So let's copy that. We're gonna put it into the enrollment cart, but when you put it there and you try enrolling, it's gonna give you like an X and it's gonna explain to you like you need prerequisites to take that class. But if you want to like avoid that happening, you can also put it into the class search. Let's see, courses. And as you can see here, Introduction to Animation. And here it should say pre-majors only.
And the prerequisites is at 130 and at 181.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is like where the prerequisites are. So as you can see, you can't just like take this on your first semester, your second semester. Like you need to have completed these 2 classes in order for you to even be able to take that class. So for some, like if some students, if you're wondering like, oh, why is it not letting me take this class? Like it's an intro class, or like I'm an animation student, I'm like trying to be in, like apply for the animation BFA, like I need to take this class. Well, it's because of the prerequisites. So the last class we're going to be signing up for are our histories. So art history is actually not found in the art one. It's actually found in art history. It has its own tab. Okay, and we're going to be signing up for our history 112. And as you can see, it also has reserved seating.
Yeah. You may not want to take this class, because the seats are reserved for transfer students. You may consider, other options that provided by advisors. Sorry, Jazmin, go ahead.
No, yeah, that was really good. That was helpful. So yeah, we're just gonna like put it in our cart just as an example though. But
Mhm.
yeah, just beware, like Tabo said, like if you see like reserved seating, just to like avoid just conflicts and just like frustration, just try signing up for one that doesn't have reserved seating, or checking if there's still seats open, like when there's like a class search. So kind of like we're doing right now, we're getting it, pasting it. And I should say here if it's open or closed, because sometimes it still says open, but when you're trying to enroll, it doesn't let you because of those reserved seatings.
Can
So
I add a little bit,
yeah.
Jazmin? So if there's like a yellow triangular like signal, you can just click on the waitlist if class is full. That box, you can click that on, and when you click that on, when that class like isn't open, you can just add yourself to the waitlist.
And that's actually really helpful. I forgot. So yeah, make sure to click this box in case it is like waitlisted or closed. So in case a seat does open, you're automatically on the waitlist or moved up from the waitlist to enroll into the class. You just put next. So this is all our courses or schedule. So as you can see here, we have our art history, and we have our art foundation class, life drawing. We have our chemistry class, both the lecture and the laboratory. So make sure, and then in total it's going to be 4 units because the lab counts as 1 unit. Just so you see that, you're not like, oh, why is it 4 units? Well, it's because of the lab, it's 1 unit. And then we have our communications class, critical thinking, essentials for argumentation, which is this is basically 1 class, but it shows us 2. So what we're going to do is you click in.
Select all the classes and then click enroll.
Yeah, but as you see here, like we all have enrollment appointments, so it doesn't let me enroll at this time, but usually it will like take you through like a process of like enrolling, and then it will give you like a green check mark when it does let you enroll, or an X and explaining why it didn't let you enroll. But that's basically how you search for your classes, how you import it into your cart, how you search for like the class number here, and just checking if you need prerequisites for a class if it doesn't let you enroll.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you have any questions about like scheduling, registration, feel free to email to our SOA-advising@csulb.edu email, or email our advisors.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're like the ones who can help you the most with these things. And they're available like through like over the phone or online, or even Zoom meeting if you prefer. So,
Yeah, schedule it through the SSC. Yeah, hope it helps.
well, I hope you guys have a great semester and great
Yeah,
time.
bye.